Okay, welcome to our video tutorial. So in this video tutorial, we'll see how to implement the object-oriented concepts we have discussed in the previous video using Python syntax, of course. So let's try to create a simple class. So let's have a new file. New Python file. Let's call it create class. Okay, so let's create a person class. So the syntax is we have a keyword class and then the class name. So the class name is person, and what person has as its property is going to be initialized, or we're going to create an initializer function. This initializer function, what this initializer function is going to do is it's going to assign values to our class properties or attributes that are going to be provided when this person class is being used, or whenever we create an instance of this class. Okay, so the function for initializing our class attributes is called an initializer function. How are we going to define that initializer function? The syntax is very simple. Define or def 2 underscores init 2 underscores again. Now we write self in parentheses colon. Now here is our definition or our code for our class person. What this self means, this class tries to access, whenever this class tries to access its own attributes, it uses self as a keyword. In other programming languages like Java, we use this attribute or this keyword. Yeah. In case of Python, we use self. Now we need other parameters for our person class. What are those? The first thing, full name. Any person has a full name. Any person will have age, gender, and other attributes, okay, like country. Now we are creating an initializer function, and this initializer function accepts 4 parameters from the user and 1 parameter for itself. Okay, self function is a default parameter. We're not going to accept this input from users. We only require users who need to create our instance, our class instance. We expect them to provide 4 parameters. Okay, because whenever they try to create a person, each person should have these 4 parameters. So after accepting those parameters, we have to assign those parameters to our self class, to our class. This self represents the self-created instance of our class. So when we say self dot full name equal to full name, this full name means the input parameter we have received. Self dot age equals age. Self dot, we can reverse the order, doesn't matter, as long as we wrote the spelling correctly. Okay, so this is our initializer function. Now we are done we have defined our very first class. Our class name is person. Okay, and we have a parameter, or we have attributes. We have 4 attributes for this person class. Those attributes are full name, age, country, and gender. And also we have initialized those class attributes with input parameters to be provided from user. Now let's try to create an instance of our class. Okay, let's say we created person 1. Okay, so person 1 is going to be from person class, and this person class requires 4 parameters. Okay, as you can see, since I'm using PyCharm as a Python IDE, it provides IntelliSense for me. What are the parameters being expected by the person class? As you can see, we have to provide age, country, full name, and gender. So the first parameter has to be full name. We have to provide them in order. Self is not going to be provided. I'm not going to provide the self attributes. Okay, self is being provided by Python itself. So I'm going to start from full name. Full name is Amit Gupta. Age 30. Gender male. Country India. Okay, so now I have created a new class and initialized this class with 4 parameters. Now I can print person1 dot full name. Now let's run our project. Let's run our code and see what will happen. Okay, there you go. So person1 dot full name is Amit Gupta. Person1 dot, let's try to see country. Person1 dot country. Let's run it. So Amit Gupta, country India. So what we achieved here is, it's a simple example, but the ramification is huge. What we can do here is, we have defined one simple class and we can create as many instances as we can, or as we want. Okay, like, have you ever played or seen people playing soccer? I mean, video game, like what's the name? FIFA. Okay. Actually, I stopped playing FIFA 5 in 2005, I guess. But what they did is, I don't really know the internal code, but using object-oriented, we can create one simple player class, and that simple player class will have a name, playing position, club, which club he or she is going to play, country, and other parameters, even the uniform they wear when they play. So they only create one class, let's say player class, and then they will create as many number of instances as they want. Let's say for one game, if we need 22 players, 11 for one team and 11 for the other team, so which means they create 22 instances of one player class. So the implication of this object-oriented concept is very huge, and I'm sure you're going to use it in a very sophisticated projects as well. So this is just a simple presentation. We have seen how to declare our function and how to define our initialize function, and also how to create an instance of a class, and how to access the values or the attributes of a created instance. Okay, so this is what we achieve in this video. In the next video, we'll see how to define functions in our class and how to access those functions, or how to call those functions as well. So we call those functions methods. When we create functions inside a class, we call them methods. Like when we create variables inside a class, we call them attributes, right? So when we create functions inside a class, we call them methods. And in the next video, we'll see how to implement that. So thank you for watching. I hope it's clear. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions of any kind, please write it in the comment section below, and we'll respond as much as possible, as quick as possible. Okay, so thank you for watching.